All right, hello everybody. Welcome. It's Tuesday. It's card time. Uh, Today does mean another dip back into the Modern Horizons 3 draft format, as this is our new format that dropped within the last week here. We're gonna do some more of that. I was just spending some time looking at there were a number of spoilers for the upcoming non-drafts Assassin's Creed crossover set, and was checking like where that lives. The answer being not on Magic Arena, but on Modern. I don't know if it'll live on. I have to assume it'll live on uh, MTGO in some way, because like MTGO has to keep parity with Modern. That would be wild if it didn't. Those cards, if there's anything playable out of there in Modern, that's probably going to be an expensive spot. But yeah, whole bunch of that. We're in a very overcrowded season. Oh, Doc, thanks for the raid. Hello.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I see that you have 3 quests to cast red spells.
So, here's a fun thing about trying to cast red spells in this format.
Oh, is this a
You
Oh wait,
you can't
do
do
they
it.
not count if they're devoid?
You can't do it. Those are colorless. Nice try, idiot.
That's so funny.
Yeah, those are.
Devoid means that they wouldn't have colors, so you
Like,
can't make it work.
I want to say this one here was here on a. We had a.
I know you've done 2 different sets of these already, and you haven't been able to cover that with that time.
I got the 15 because all the not all, but the strong Eldrazi red spells are devoid. Not all the strong red spells are devoid, because like Galvanic Energy Arc, I forget, Discharge, I believe is the name, is obviously, and like same with like Replicate, Hammer, and a couple others. But I was just thinking out loud. I've been looking at there's been a whole bunch of spoilers today, because we're in a bit of an overcrowded era for set releases.
Oh yeah.
So as you can see, Outlaws of Thunder Junction came out month and a half, 2 months ago. Was our most recent standard release. And there was going to be a bit of a lull between that and Modern Horizons 3, but there was a pretty major unofficial leak that I think was like 50+% of the set. Like just a wild amount. They had completely changed their, like they had to publicly respond to it, and just when here's a bunch of spoilers, we're just changing how we're doing spoiler season here. So Modern Horizons 3, which is what we have here, came out on Arena last week, and Paper a couple weeks before. So it's been kind of on the rounds. And this week we had the beginning, I'd say beginning, but like the entirety of, it's not finished yet, but this week is the entirety of the Assassin's Creed non-draftable mini set that's going to be coming out in like a couple weeks. But that only exists on paper and probably, I assume, MTGO in some manner, because it is Modern legal. Followed by Bloomborough, which has to have its spoiler season starting up pretty quick here, because that's like an end of July release. So I would assume, we're like 4 or 5 weeks away, so like that spoiler season has to be starting up pretty soon here. So anyway, all that said, we're here for Modern Horizons 3. Both of the drafts I've done so far have been like pretty Eldrazi focused, for reasons I really like casting large Eldrazi's.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't? Like,
not only are they a lot of fun, but the cards that enable them in this set are like very strong in position. the other plans we've seen on the other side can be quite aggressive and have a lot of advantage to them. The modified plan actually has some real legs to it on its early game, and there's a number of cards that kind of give it legs later. The energy plan can be very overwhelming in both the advantage it grants and the finishing power it has. But the Eldrazi deck gets to cast like 6/6s on like turn 3 and forward, so that's nice. But yeah, outside of a Gruul common being way too, heard nothing but good things about this format. Basically,
Gruul common being like way above board has been a pretty common thing in general as of late.
This one's like, this one's
I'm gonna
a
have
little.
to see it. I'm gonna have to see it.
You'll see it when we get to it. It sure is a piece of cardboard. But yeah, even outside of that, though, you still have some very powerful things across every color. Like there's like the energy synergies are very powerful. The Eldrazi stuff is obviously very powerful. The modified stuff is a little hard to like pull in and out, but like when it's working, it feels really good. All right, Ugin's Binding as our possible first pick here. This is if you cast a 7-drop Eldrazi Cyclonic Rift if it's in your yard.
Oof, Cyclonic Rifting?
Yeah, that's Cyclonic Rift. We also have 2 other rares in Strix Serenade, a constructed Swan Song Riff, and Sylvan Safekeeper, a reprint from...
Strix Serenade is basically targeting everything Swan Song can't.
Yes, correct.
The Swan Song targets Instant Sorcery's Enchantment, if I remember right.
Yeah, and this does the other half. Yeah... Looking around, there's not a lot that like is super pulling in any direction. There's like so these are very powerful. This is a dual land with a spell on the back or front. They're very good at what they do. I'm gonna go with the Binding and see where we lead with that. Obviously, it leads into some. Oh, hello, Lelia is one of my favorite cards. And this
Lelia, I've actually played with and against Lelia pretty frequently in Commander.
Yeah, this is a reprint from I forget which Commander set this lived in, if this was in a deck or in one of the Commander sets, but Lelia has a lot of power in how Lelia works with different mechanics. Lelia gets 1/1 counters based on cards put into exile from library or graveyard, and there's a lot of ways to do that that don't seem immediately intuitive. This could work really well with some specific energy generation cards. We also have some powerful Eldrazi in this pack. Breaker of Creation regularly gains you a dozen of life because lands are colorless permanents. Twisted Riddle Keeper also taps a million things, and Petrifying Meddler is also very good at being an aggressive card. This makes me like there's certain cards that like now on the lookout are way more powerful with Strixhaven. Okay, because this is a Lorehold like a spirit from that one. Okay. Glimpse the Impossible, for instance, is Exile top 3, which works with Lelia and works with like an Eldrazi ramp style. This is a 1-turn exile. You lose them at end step, but you get spawn for each card you didn't spend. The art on it is also wild. I have a couple. The Flare isn't anything. These are a cool cycle, but the white one this is just Orim's Chant, or not Orim's Chant, Angel's Grace.
Phyrexian Ironworks, huh?
When you attack, you get energy. Pay 3
Oh, the
mana.
Phyrexian Golem there is a riff off of the Blade Splicer Golem.
Yes. Though the card I'm actually going to pick in here is going to be Galvanic Discharge. This is the card I mentioned as far as red spells go. This is a very cool bolt, in that it can't go dome, but you can pay extra into it and pay less into it. You pay on resolution, so like you can up and down it based on like if a trick does or doesn't occur. If you have two of them, then you get to like 1 or 2 damage on the first, and maybe the second gets to take out a 5. So that does really well.
Boggart Trawler.
So this is part of 2 cycles. These are uncommons that are on the back. A land that has enter if you pay 3, or
there's a couple of those lands when they did the original with Agadeem's Awakening. And
those were rares. These are sitting in
uncommons.
Like a Petrifying Meddler, this body is really good.
4 mana, 4/5 reach. That's a spider.
Yeah,
I've ever seen one.
And taps up to 1 creature with a stun. Disciple of Freyalise is actually the text of Disciple of Bolus, which is very funny to me. But it's a forest on the back.
Yeah.
Next spell you cast.
Archway of Innovation. Oh, neat. That's the Artifact Liker one, right?
Yeah.
The Artifact Convoke.
Yes. Probably gonna go with the Harvester or the Emissary. Like, picking up into energy plan is a pretty viable place to be.
How eminently viable is it to go 3-color in this?
Very easy. There's these 3-color duels that exist at common, or 4-color if you count colorless. So like,
oh, those are cute. I like that they have the cycling for the thing that they sack.
Correct. That cycling was
that makes them instantly noticeable about what they do.
The cycling is obviously a boon to make the card more playable, but the actual reason it's there is so that at a glance you can tell the colors.
That you can go grab the basics of. Yeah, yes. That makes perfect sense.
Pinnacle Monk is cool. This is a mountain on the back. Picks up a spell on the front. Gives you another removal spell if it's late game. You top deck this, or early game is a land. I like these cards a lot for smoothing things out. Pyretic Rebirth, another Meddler. This landscape is okay. Skoa is a sort of FTK, but casts. You can grandeur this card and sack 2 mountains to do it again. So it's Fire Blast, which kicks ass.
Neat. Also, grandeur, huh?
Yeah, grandeur on a common. Card whips. Honestly, I'm thinking about just.
I appreciate that it has literal FTK text on it because it's not a May. That dude enters the battlefield, he can blow himself up.
Yeah. Charge Bug is okay. Menace that hands off Menace. Skittering Precursor is like wishes it was better. It's like on sacrifice a non-token you get a spawn. It's harder for that to actually occur.
This guy wishes that he was what is it? You get Kalida's something.
You get some good movement out of whenever you would gain energy, gain more than one more energy. Draw a card if you spend. Okay, all right. And we have
it energy might be kind of real for your setup then. Okay.
Yeah, and Electrozoa is a lot worse than you would like. Flying is a little worse in this set than it should be.
Is it like a lot of reach going on?
I mean,
or
here's this blue
card with reach.
I want to say every
blue card with reach. I didn't even think about how weird that is.
I want to say like every 50% of green creatures just have it. Sure. That's a very good final pick for us. This Goblin is a really...
Oh, man. I see a card called Invert Polarity.
Yeah. Galvanic Discharge coming around here some more. Invert Polarity is a card that I've seen folks talking a lot about. This is a fun one. It's a very is it
okay.
card.
Like you get the advantage of it counters the spell regardless if you like
Yeah.
cast the spell, but you might gain control of it just for free.
Yeah. Good job, Scree. The Priest of Titania reprint is like there's not a lot of elves in the set, but it's still a fine body. Nightshade Dryad is the better mana dork in this set, by at least in limited. Another discharge. Conduit Goblin is quite good. Hands off haste.
That already came around once, so it's likely to come around again.
And then Vexing Bauble is a fun hater.
Yeah, that's right. This thing. That motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Ooh. Hey, bud. All right.
Straight up Toxic Deluge, huh?
Yeah, a lot of reprints in here that have some power. Some kick to them. You got the black in here has got a lot of kick. We're not going to be picking any of it, but Toxic Deluge and Flare. Flare is a big edict. Wither and Bloom is quite good. It's got that Richard Kane Ferguson art.
Yeah, I was just about to say how good that art is.
Yeah. Jolted Awake is sort of a unearth. Can do some wild stuff.
Creature.
Brain Surge is probably what I'm after in here.
Draw 4, then put 2. Oh, it's Brainstorm +1 in all ways.
Yeah, Tune the Narrative might be better, but I like getting big cards out of thing. Pinnacle Monk.
Wormcoil Larva.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, very cute. A
Tiny
little
Wormcoil
expensive, but powerful when it comes down. Like it's a pain to deal with. Thinking either on tune or if I get like how white do I want to be? Like if I keep picking up some of these, then we have to start picking up some fixing to make this deck function. I haven't picked up any in the first pack, but that's probably fine. These cards can get going real nicely, especially with the 2s in here. It's just something like if we see like taking a look at the duels we have is going to be important. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, proliferate.
Ooh boy.
Okay.
This is a card that I should keep in mind.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we go on that and.
Because energy
is a counter on a.
Yeah, so you can actually proliferate your counters for your energy.
This is a really powerful sack outlet. Goblin here. Yeah, worth noting that white might be turning into the more of a main color in this deck.
Than blue.
Yeah. Vexing Bauble, which this kite
Mandibular Kite.
This kite is fine. Like late game, it gives you a way to hand off flying.
I typically like to have one of those in my limited decks.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's picking now, but
yeah, I don't know what else I would be picking there is the issue. +2/+2 and Mentor. Oh, here's a card for you.
Energy-based recurring nightmare, huh? Okay.
No, I'm not believing
Still puts it back into your hand as part of the cost. That's so funny.
Though it isn't invincible because it has an energy gain on come into play.
Yeah, so you can respond to it because that's on the stack.
Yeah.
Yep, makes sense.
More Fledgling Dragon. Okay, I'm gonna go with more Conduit Goblin then, and that's gonna be an interest.
I can respect them making better designed versions of Recurring Nightmare because, hey, Recurring Nightmare is one of my favorite cards. It's not a well-designed card.
Ooh, okay. Razorgrash Ambush looking a lot better now that white's a more main color. This is effectively Iganjo, the castle from Neon Dynasty.
Yeah. But it costs you life to do it.
Yeah, but it's cheaper on its activation.
Yeah.
Tommy of
Kind of
Joes.
want a couple of those islands now.
Yeah. We might end up just cutting out blue, or cutting the blue to be a more of a like,
There's
just
a couple
card
of
or
really
two.
good blue cards in here, but I do agree that you'd probably cut out a pretty good amount of. Or I
Okay.
mean, you can just get a red-blue one right now.
Yeah, again, these are fine to be on 2 colors. Funnily enough, the foreboding one is just not for us, but that's okay. This ain't a card we're playing. It's funny. Alright. Pack 3, what do we got? Hey, buddy. So this is a
Winged Wisdom.
This is a Menace of Modern at the Mo.
Yeah. Okay.
So this reads when you read
I'm
it.
reading this as I understand how this is the Simic thing in and of itself. And
Yeah, this is Coiling Oracle, but one of the things about this card that, like, when you read it here and it's creates your control when they're targeted by spell or ability, Coiling Oracle, limit twice per turn. That limit twice per turn is not on the overall ability. It's on every single creature individually.
The creatures have that ability, which means that every single one of them can have that happen twice per turn. I understand entirely why that's a problem.
So there's a number of, like, silly to do. Oh my god, okay.
Second Lelia, huh?
Yeah. Oh, we've got a friend down here.
Oh, this is the guy?
So, Riley Chrysalis.
4 mana 2/3 with reach. Whenever you sacrifice another, becomes larger, and it's already comes. So this isn't actually a 4 mana 2/3. This is at the very least a 4 mana 4/5, and it will be bigger.
Yeah, and, like, if you try to kill it with removal, either the removal fails or you leave behind some tokens. You can't get it with evasion. It with any other card in the entirety of all of your deck is going to get bigger. Like, it just gets very silly very quickly.
Yeah, I understand immediately why that's a problem.
Enchant player.
Shadow of the Second Sun, huh?
Beginning of enchanted player's post-combat main phase, there's an additional beginning phase.
Nice.
That's very funny.
I love when they do that. That's one of my secret favorite, like, rarely used mechanics is additional phases that aren't the standard phases.
We got Mog Mob. I don't know how playable triple red is.
3 Mog Fanatics stapled together.
It's 3 Mog Fanatics stapled together.
That's a lot of red.
There's a little bit of red.
Now here's a bunch of blue cards. Reform is just a Bobbit Worm. I'm seeing that. Oh wait, that's the one that yeah, okay. When this dies, it creates the 3/3. When that dies, it creates the 6/6. Yeah, that's a card that exists already. That's right.
A lot of blue in here, and yeah, that's what I said at the beginning of the main phase. Then you do a beginning phase, and then you go into the end phase, right? Like,
First you begin, then you main, then you fight, then you begin, then you main. Or no, it was then you main, then you begin, then you end.
Yes.
Right. Okay. I mean, it's untap, upkeep, and draw. Nice.
Yes. Frogmere is very cool.
The infinity either side of that, or
yeah, it's affinity on both sides. You can either play it as a 2/2 or a 4/4.
I mean, it even if you just consider this the land, that's actually pretty good to include.
All right, we got second copy of Skoa. I could play Molten Gatekeeper, which is like
or Molten Gatekeeper, which is also here.
Which is also here. This is like a mini Perforos.
Yep.
Combo stuff. I'm gonna believe in more Skoa.
I mean, you can't feel too bad about FTKs. Yep, I'm aware of this motherfucker. And Colossal Dread Mask. That's a
one of the tricks about this card is that this card's fucked up.
Oh yeah, it hands off 6/6 and trample and sticks around.
Yeah, you because a Dreadmon shows up, you're like, all right, I'll kill that. And they're like, cool, equip that to my 4/4/10, and you're like, excuse?
And now I have a 10/10 trampler, and what are you gonna do about that?
What do you mean by that? And they're like, well, attack. And we're like,
I mean, I've got a 10/10 trampler. I'm sorry, like it's simple as that.
Yeah, what? Okay. All right, we're getting some.
I'm not surprised. Like,
Curse Mirror's cute.
oh yeah, that is. It just one turn copy a guy.
Yeah, and then it's a mana rock. Past that.
I like when they get cute with red mana rock specifically.
Yeah. It also like
since it's technically the other mana generating color, you know, like.
All right, I'm gonna try to make this 3 colors. We're gonna see how the mana base ends up working out here.
Between the blue-red spell, a couple of your MDFC land guys, and the 2 or maybe just 1 of your of the fetch lands, I think you can probably pull off 3 color with maybe like losing 1 game to Mana Screw.
Yeah, Glimpse gets in, Goblins.
Because I feel like that's likely to happen still, but you know.
Yeah, with this, there's no truly fighting that, but we'll see what we can do. Let's go. We'll play these on the splash. I don't know if I want to play invert polarity on the blue for the splash. That's just not. Ugin's Binding, our first pick, isn't doing anything because it's, you know, we don't have a card that triggers it, and I'm not playing that much of a bounce spell. Meddler and Brain Surge are probably fine on the off color. All right, and then we get to do the fun part here where I like cut a bunch of like lands and go Pinnacle Monk, Rush of Inspiration, Sink into Stupor, cut another, and another for all of our duels. Like, yeah, 2 in the narrative, yeah. Also, Fledgling Dragon I might be undervaluing. The fetches and such, it might be easier to get into that than I think. Our mana base looks like nonsense, I'd just like to note. Down here it says we're playing 13 lands, but we've got 2 Pinnacle Monks, a Rush of Inspiration, a Sink into Stupor, and a Razorgrass Ambush. Okay, we're on 18 lands still. Well, now this should actually be up, and then, what's your general rule of thumb for counting the dual face card lands? They're lands, just flat. I'm not counting them as like halves or anything like that. I do have to consider that they're coming to play tapped lands in a lot of instances. But like this deck right here contains 18 lands, so I'm looking on where I want to cut that up. Because unlike a mana rock or like certain pieces of fixing or like a ramp spell, like these literally are just a land if you need them. It's not as though you fail to have them. They're here. You just have to be willing to use them as such. And well, that's not a problem for me. I'd feel fine doing so. I need to cut 1 more land, I think. This is fun. I get to cast Brainstorm with fetch lands in my deck. That's nice. Also thinking if I want to fit this Petrifying Metal or number 2 into the deck somewhere. I don't think I can. It's 2 Skoas I'm not huge on, but they work fine as FTK. 4, 5, 6 white swords. Oh, that actually is bad. I'm gonna cut a mountain. That seems wild because our deck is like 100 million red cards, but like we have a ton of fake red in the deck. This mana base is nonsense. Let's go.
I've returned for a moment, and it looked like you actually did consider it to go back into red-blue as primary and the white is the splash, or you just full 3-color, you think?
Like the blue is like a few cards. We're just sort of like gonna get hands like this where it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that sounds great. I think that that's a really good thing to, to do. All you gotta do is just...
Ooh! Alright, there.
Oh, Flooded Strand. Okay. Congratulations.
Alright. So I get to kill whatever their 2 is. Pay 1. Bob. I'd consider
the way that card works is great. Like the fact that you can just keep the other 2 stocked energy.
Yeah, so now like this discharge is infinite.
Yeah. You can use that to deal 7 damage if you wanted to.
Alright, Wither and Bloom, nice card.
You fool. You thought you were destroying...
Alright. So they need to kill Lelia before things get very bad.
To go off. She accelerates.
Yeah. Like, if they have, like, an Edict body, something like that would be a really powerful thing to have. If they actually probably do here, this is them playing Sneaky Snacker into the Fleshbag Marauder, is that right? No. Okay.
Just exiling Wither and Bloom.
Well, this is attacking as a 4/4, so who cares?
Yep.
Alright, and then I will be paying 3 life for this. We're now holding up the greatest discharge. And we can go fetch blue off this. This lets me hold this up in case of... any creature on the battlefield. So that's just going to be their own Lelia that we kill? Yeah. Because it's any... I'm double-checking to make sure this isn't you control, sort of. Alright. No thanks. So we get to go crack this. Ooh, okay. Beginning combat, yeah. So we get a 3 energy, and then we go to combat. We hand off haste to you. And we'll hand off lifelink to Lelia. So Sneaky Snacker here is pretty cool because it comes back if they have a draw spell. It's a strong card. And we can Fledgling Dragon with haste next turn as well, with Threshold. So, okay, that's a good, again, as mentioned, that's a good card. But as I said, we have Threshold because I've played 3 fetch lands. Hello. You have haste. Get in there. You gotta block or die. Okay, they chose block. So yeah, Fledgling Dragon, a reprint from Judgment. Very cool card. I like Fledgling Dragon. It's a Shivan Dragon once you have Threshold. But until that point, it's a 2/2 flyer. No, my Threshold! No! Boom, 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 boom. Anyway. Thanks, my Lelia gets more powerful. Okay. Let's attack for what looks like lethal damage.
Seems pretty lethal to me.
Yeah. Yep. And your final card in hand is...
If you killed that with your own ambush, it wouldn't gain them life, wouldn't it?
That's correct. I'm glad we're on the same page here. Are you sure? Yeah.
Does more damage to your opponent.
Alright, and then, we can just pass. Okay.
I love plays like that specifically.
It's
That's
so
like my
good.
favorite thing to do in Magic, where it's like, okay, the correct thing for me to do right now is
kill
the
my
worst thing I could do right now.
Like, here's the spell I just drew. Throw it on my own, like two for 0 myself. Yeah. For those who haven't played with Lelia, yeah, pretty good. And Aratum,
She's always like that.
Aratum,
Like,
I would like
always.
to declare. The way a Lelia works is 1 or more cards gets a counter. So this is 3 cards in like one go. If we have Cascade, which looks at cards individually, that goes 1 counter per card. However, our deck does not contain like Meteoric Mace or something like that. Yeah, getting MTGA to ask you, "Are you sure?" is a victory. Also, our deck cast red spells.
Nice.
Yeah, that right there was like a exact, like, this is the way I want this deck to go, where we just sort of are able to like keep the board under control. Like the removal probably was or the energy dino at 2 that's basically Cascade. Yeah, God, I wish we had the amp ramp. Raptor is ridiculous. That's the energy cascade card. Okay.
Oh, this is unkeepable. Wait, no, you have lands. Never mind. This
right.
is triple. Yeah.
But it's unkeepable on colors.
That's true too. It
because
is
we
all
drew
red.
because we drew 3
you
mountains.
actually moved some of.
Yeah, we removed three. Like this looks unkeepable, but like no, we played one of these on 1, etc. The problem is yeah. So let's
still technically unkeepable. This has 2 galvanic discharges.
And Lelia.
And Lelia, yeah.
I'm gonna put Mogmob back. We're not hitting triple red in a hand like this.
My favorite version of the playing a spell in the worst way possible, that is still the correct way to do it, is the old favorite, the treacherous Nessian Courser. You know,
yeah,
playing an act of treason on yourself just to give it haste.
It's just look. I will gain control of this, and some other things happen. So we want to draw a white source for Riddlegate. If not, we get to play Generatorium, which is very good with our bolts because it makes them bigger. Opponent has played a tapped Hydroelectric Specimen. So fun thing with this, if we spend all 4 energy from discharge, we can activate this. Which... Okay, they've got a fetch for probably black. Hydroelectric Specimen, by the way, is neat. It's a flash that steals targeting on the body. Again, these cards, one of the things that's wild about these cards that they land on the back is that their front side is like real. Okay, white. Sure. Oh, and black. Okay. Well, that's what these exist for. I will be paying 3 life.
Yeah, you want to get Lelia down. Like
yeah,
right now,
probably
right?
probably getting removed or killed, but we have 2 Lelias, and I'd like to force our opponent to take action. The worst possible out of them would be the Force Spike Eldrazi. Alternately, our opponent just has Jack. Okay. Cool, they passed on 4 with nothing.
F6.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Edict. This is a cool card. It's Fleshbreak Marauder for 2 that says non-token on the sack, which makes it wild. All right, time for everybody's favorite.
Makes it non-token is still completely fair there though,
yes.
Because it's still, you know, they can't sacrifice a token either.
Yes. Okay, so bad news. We're not drawing any white for a while. So let's put those on top of the deck. The order doesn't matter here. However, this was absolutely necessary to do because it gets us some forward action. I'm gonna not pay for that. Next turn. Oof, okay. This just needs to die. Love you, Genku. All your all your kids. So in order to do to facilitate this, I need to play a Pinnacle Monk untapped. I think is the outcome here because I could double Galvanic Discharge, but it's actually better if I go Thriving Skyclaw into Discharge.
Yeah, because then you can actually just pay for 5 all in one go.
Yeah. We will pay 3 life. Thriving Skyclaw makes us 1,000,000 energy.
Adds 4.
And then Galvanic Discharge over here.
Also adds 4. You can then spend 5, draw a card.
Yep. We've spent 5 energy, so this is now active. That gets us out from under this quicker. The next time we Galvanic Discharge, we have 7 energy available.
Kills basically anything.
Yeah, even like Eldrazi at that stage are killable at that.
Yeah, it seems like this is a. Well, there are some. Oh.
Yep. This is an incredible. Yes, there we go.
Yes. Now we're talking.
Okay. Best lane here is. Most expensive?
When you...
Actually, I think it's Riddlegate.
When that attacks, the other one can be done, but only as a sorcery. This trigger goes off regardless of what's attacking. So, like...
Yeah, I want Riddlegate killed first. You're right. Actually, that's completely the right play. The invincible kite, because it's not it's a token. Completely invincible.
I see.
The idea here is that this line gets me the Genitorium play best. Because
yeah, I understand.
We're gonna Exalted, attack for 4 in the air, go from there. Our opponent's just like, so many cards. Okay, Grave Dig. This is a cool card, by the way. Original Grave Digger hanging out here. Entwine with Mega 2/2 or return target creature. Just a cool card.
You're gonna kill Genku again.
Oh yeah.
Galvanic Discharge.
Yep. Okay, so the line here is going to be, we're actually going to go Emissary. And then we're going to spend 4 energy going, this gets an Exalted counter. This gets an Exalted counter. We could attack for a lot here if I wanted to spend everything. Okay. I think I'd rather keep this locking in, like moving up. And we'll decline here. I'd like to hold that. We will wait until our turn to go ahead and Galvanic Discharge so that this is untapped. But, like, their line next turn looks pretty obvious to me. It's, you know. Ooh, Serum Visionary. What a good card.
There's a guy with Serum Vision is like stapled to it.
Yep. Exalted counters, more things to top 2. Okay. Oh, fetch land. Won't matter. Well, might not matter. We'll see.
Yeah, Exalted counters are more things to proliferate. Makes sense to me.
Okay, so what we're going to be doing here, this is going to get stupid. Can I kill them? I might have them dead. So, Metastatic Evangel. Counter on Metastatic Evangel. Counter on Riddlegate Gargoyle. Play the Charge Bug.
Proliferate each one of those 3 Exalted counters.
Submit 4. Let's draw a card. Oh, look, it's a white source. Weird.
And you still have Galvanic Discharge backup.
Yeah. Conduit Goblin.
You could have done at least put 1 more on the charge.
Alright, and then we'll go to combat. Oh yeah, I'll take that action, that's fine. And then, Exalted.
Rafiq of the Many.
Exalted. And a look! 13! The lucky number!
Your opponent watched that. I was like, you pulled that directly out of your ass.
Oh, our deck is... So, I talked earlier about the ability for the energy deck to just pull damage out of nowhere. That's one of them. That Emissary of Soulfire, Exalted,
Taunt.
One of them. Conduit Goblin lets you do similar things. There's an uncommon with Gremlins that's just an overrun where you pay 4 energy for +1/+0 and haste to your team. That is number wang. I'm glad that worked out to exact. That would have been a little tragic if I had done all that and then brought our opponent to 1 and they just untap and like, wrath, move on. Like... The dude. All right. I would like
to Pinnacle Monk, so you have red.
Again, you look at this hand on the surface. Trash. Like this is one of the worst hands of all time. But Pinnacle Monk, thank you very much. Alright. And I don't even need to lead Pinnacle Monk, so...
In that case, would it be better to, like, sack for Landscape? For Island?
No, because... Is Conduit Goblin my 2?
Question.
It might be metastatic.
Because they hit the battlefield, you could actually proliferate the energy the Conduit Goblin gives you, right?
Yes. I'm gonna go with metastatic as our
Goblin on.
I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go with that idea that metastatic is our 2 and Lelia is our 3. Or maybe we sandbag Lelia a little bit. Who can say? Okay, our opponent's also gonna be pushing pretty hard for damage. Okay, that's nice. This card is, like, not very good unless you have that energy, in which case it is just fine.
Oh, yeah, of course. I think that's the point.
But the land makes it playable in everything no matter what. Like, you don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, their own... Oh, boy. All right.
They're playing...
Ooh. Okay.
Swing in with that bad boy. All right.
All right.
So they are Boros. They're going fast. Would it be better to just trade this?
I think this Conduit Goblin needs off the table, or else we are too slow to them.
I respect that. Yeah.
Thank you for clipping that. All right, this will be... I'd love to get that Generatorium down, but I don't know where that's fitting. This is just... Sure. This is just start getting a threat going. Force our opponent to have an answer effectively now, or else, you know, Smelted Charge Bug can actually hand off Menace. So, we can, like, hide this from a single big blocker if they go, like, something like that.
If you draw another mountain, you could Genitorium Conduit Goblin.
Good news. I'm holding a mountain.
I mean, oh, right, yes.
Yeah, no,
right.
like,
sorry. I forgot. You could pay 3 for that to eat.
Ain't it great? Which I'm gonna do. We want to make our plays here. So, I think my play here is actually Conduit Charge Bug. Because I can haste the Charge Bug and then get in for... Oh, this is... Oh, that's dangerous. Okay. Like, I'd love to get the Generatorium down now, but, like, I feel like I need to be aggressive at this opponent. So hand off haste there. And do this for the extra point of damage. because that puts our opponent to 7, and now we might be able to just kill. Okay.
Support 2.
Yeah, that gives them 6 points of lifelink.
Those are both lifelinkers.
Yep. Now, how much do they attack with, is the question?
It's a good
Both?
question. I guess they're going all in. Okay.
Okay.
All right. How does second charge bug interact here for the menace? Because you can get all of them attacking with menace, right?
Yes. So everybody has menace, and I would have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're missing a 13th point of damage.
Rough. Okay.
Where
Can you exile something else somehow?
That's what I'm looking at. Alternately, I could just attack with Eulalia and then, like, use the removal I'm holding to try to smooth things out.
Yeah, I mean, you can use the ambush to kill the 3/3.
Yeah, because this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 from 1 point short. Yeah, there's no... Okay. I don't know that I have time to play the Generatorium here. Okay. 5th land. What do we got? What changes the math here? Something on the flyer is obviously killer. Put a shield counter or proliferate. Shield counter on your flyer? No, proliferate.
We're just making those 3/3, 4/4, and 8. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you can just trade the Conduit Goblin and that for that, I guess. Or do you have the ability to survive here in some other way while also having the ability to still kill them on board?
The problem...
We just block and then kill the flyer? No.
No.
They're still gaining 8.
If I deny their life gain in some way, would that work? 5, 6, 7, 8. I can only deny their life gain on one of their 2. I think this is like block here.
Well, you have to block the other one as well, or you die.
Oh no, this is easy. You just kill the thing they're trying to double strike at us with.
Okay.
Yeah, the problem is we're at 2. And they're at 15. I understand that we have some issues. Right. Ironworks gets us another blocker. I think this is Lelia first before Ironworks, just to see what we draw. I can't play that.
Okay.
My land is
right.
tapped.
Yeah, you're one off. It also doesn't actually do it by itself. It would get rid of the 4/4, but it wouldn't kill the 4/5.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
That's it.
Well, you know.
Flying Rhino.
Yeah, this was the killer. That turned us like having like especially the fact that there was the turn where we were 1 point off lethal.
I mean, this is almost the same as a card that was already in Khans of Tarkir. What was it, Einak Bonkin or something? Or was that the first strike?
The one you're thinking of was a cleric that was a 4 mana 3/2 that was white outlast, and creatures with a 1/1 counter have lifelink.
Right.
Yeah, Abzan Battle Priest. Turns out Abzan Battle Priest that has the stats of the Falconer. The Falconer is probably what you were thinking of because of it has the exact same stat line.
Okay.
But yeah, damn. That good stuff. This ain't cutting it. Yeah, off-white doesn't work here.
Off red is pretty rough too. Galvanic Discharge. I mean, this is almost mono red, and that's more functional.
All right. we're riding. Go charge bug. Okay. Ooh, this card's sweet. Top 4, grab a permanent from them, and then make it spawn. And they all go to grave. Power balance? They grab power balance over the Chrysalis. Our opponent is strong. Damn. I'm holding onto the landscape.
Opponent here is here to play some Magic the Goddamn Gathering.
Yeah. So power balance is counterbalance, but when you match, you cast your spell instead of counter theirs. Do it. Yes! Ooh! Okay. So, what this is going to do is it's going to reveal a Chrysalis off the top of our opponent's deck right here. Because then it's like picking the Chrysalis, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, let me get my 1 in before the Chrysalis shows up. Okay, well, they didn't reveal...
But you know that they have something that's just going to kill this dragon now.
Yeah, so Ghostfire Slice kicks ass. This is 4 damage, just flat. Like, this is, like, better than Char. It's better than a lot of things.
Yeah. Frequently just a Flame Slash to, like, a creature, but it's also 3 for 4 damage to the face.
Alright, well. Show me the 3. Forest. Okay.
Your opponent here isn't here to play cards out of their hand. They want to play cards on the top of their deck.
I respect the hell out of our opponent for having, like, literally one of the best, like, curves you could have and going power balance instead. Because again, like,
they're here to have
turn 3 Chrysalis is like, what do I do about that? I would have to spend, like, all of my energy on a discharge. I could do it, but, like, it would suck. But power balance could be anything. It could even be a Chrysalis. Alright, 6. Ah! Uh-huh. Fun thing about Chrysalis, it's a cast trigger, so you can't respond to it coming into play with a kill spell.
Yeah, I mean, that's a standard Eldrazi thing, though.
Yeah.
Most of them are cast triggers.
Yep. And the hope is that, like... I think if I want to discharge that now, or...
You'd have to specifically discharge it for 6?
Well, I'd have to discharge it for whatever they put it at. Because, like, this is on resolution. They can just choose to not sack anything.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair.
Alright, power balance. What do you got for us? Mountain. Okay. So yeah, their choice. Like, they can sack as much as they want into this. My hope is that they spend their entire board on this because I want, you know... I want that stuff gone. Alright. Paying 5. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and crack this here. Okay.
It's a pretty good get, I feel like.
Yeah. Of all the possibles. Okay, not gonna bother menacing here. That isn't important right now. If they want to block and trade, they're... Right now, they saved this because they have a 7-drop, right?
Yeah.
Right. So... Let's let them play their 7-drop. Ooh, or it's Siege Gang. Siege Gang kicks ass. It's, well... It's exactly what it seems.
Eldrazi Spawn Gang.
Yep.
Siege Gang.
Spawn Gang. I think I'm just gonna main phase this again. Rush can actually unlock us, so... Alright, show me a 3. Forest.
Discharge 2 is nice.
Yeah.
As is Territorium.
So, we want... I think it's like this, and we want to draw Rush. Because I can't play Genitorium this turn, I can't play Rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the order we want. I want to draw Rush.
They can't activate Spawn Gang right now.
They can. They can sack Spawn to activate
I guess by
Spawn
sacking
Gang.
the other.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, okay.
There's still no point to activating Menace here. Okay. I think I am gonna kill their spawn gang. I don't want them to untap with that. And we know this resolves. So they can counter this. They chose not to. Interesting. That's free.
They would be able to just sack the spawn gang, right? Because
Yeah.
it's sacrificing Eldrazi, and it is an Eldrazi.
Correct.
And they didn't sack any of the Eldrazi spawn.
No. That might... Again, maybe they've got something large. Do I want a golem? I think right now we want to golem. We know they're not drawing live, like, so I kind of want to pressure. I know that turns off the rush main phase, because I have to wait to attack before we can rush. Okay. That's a 5/3 trample haste.
That dies to a golem, so who cares?
Yeah, I'm not really... This is just like golems and flyer and then rush post. Okay. Okay.
Kind of running them out of cards, and they have no board presence. They're relying entirely on just playing with power balance on the board to hopefully get them free stuff.
Okay, Void Pouncer off the top. So if I play Genitorium, they get to do it.
All right.
All right, okay. I have a lot of respect for our opponent. Had they chosen not to grab the power balance, they would have been in a curve that involved like Chrysalis into Spawn Gang. And I'm not sure how you defeat that curve. Because this is like a 7-8. Like outside of the range of our burn unless we do some absolutely gnarly stuff.
Well, you won a mull of 5s. That's nice.
Our mana worked out in there. Our curve worked out. I'm pretty happy with that. I was unsure how this Golem Foundry thing was gonna play.
It seems like it's not that hard to get the 3/3s.
Yeah, fun heavy really loses, but you do have fun. Born in the year 1969. This is keepable as hell.
Looks like it to me.
Poof, Alright. Oh, more Boros. Okay. Okay, we got the Boros mirrors. Okay.
Metastatic Evangel is a Caves of Khud ass name.
Oof. This is a Slith that can gain first strike. Which they are gonna do. Alright, well.
Time for the goblins to come
I've got
in.
goblins. So they need an energy source to give that Slith, first strike. However...
It is just a 3-2 at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. All right, goodbye, Slith.
Yeah, this needs to just leave. Okay.
You're doing pretty good on 2 lanes.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah. So that was like game-ending threat. This is fine. Okay. Goblin can trade for their Evangel. Lelia's got to do so much lifting. Like, I'm completely willing to trade because our board is junk right now. Alright, Goblin 3. The sequel to Goblin.
Energy.
Alright, 6th land. This is just a 3-3 that can exploit for a threaten.
Finally.
Okay.
Here comes Lelia. Well, I guess maybe not right now because she is not safe on board. But...
Yeah. Instead, we have the power of Menace. And one hand washes the other. See? Okay. Their aggression. Okay. Ajani. Oh.
May our axes strike as one.
So the problem with Ajani, for us,
is that Ajani is really easy to flip and makes a board really quick, and the board gets larger. So, I guess the way you deal with Ajani is by getting to 6, and then blowing him up with a 4 with an FTK?
Or letting them attack with this cat and not letting it die. Like, just don't let this cat die.
Yeah. Very funny that Ajani does not have a special token for his brother.
Alright, everybody's favorite move in Magic. Lelia pass. Because the other way I deal with this is I tap the cat down and hide it. What the fuck? Oh.
Okay.
I don't think I like that.
Pretty rough.
Okay.
It's a hell of a Sarah Angel, to say the least.
Cat's coming in.
Okay, that's good. Well.
Okay, good news.
Lelia can swing in still, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lelia has 4 power.
Wait, what does Glimpse the Impossible do?
Draw 3 for a turn, makes a bunch of spawn.
Gotcha.
So, that's what we're doing here. I'm gonna leave white is more likely to have a...
Man, if that was an instant, you could cast it immediately while Lelia was on the field. Jeez, would that be good?
Okay, so here we get to go... Landscape for a second red.
These are until end of turn?
Yeah, and we get spawn. We get a spawn for each card we don't spend.
Right.
So we have some chump blocking available to us. Not in the air, on the lifelinking.
You're just gonna FTK that. You
Yeah.
have the ability to do so now.
Yeah.
Because you can go grab a mountain.
Alright. I think I'm also chump blocking the cat. I think I have to, is the problem.
You don't want to be down to 6 damage kills you territory.
I'm surprised they didn't lifelink the angel. Huh. Alright. So the other spawn lets this work. Alright. Under a lot of other circumstances, I'd be scared of dying here. But I still have a Fire Blast in hand. Alright, go to 6. Exile target creature, we gain life equal to its... Okay.
So you go back up to 8.
Now, good news, we win. Check this out. So how do we deal with that cat?
You tap it down with a...
We tap it down so the cat can't get involved in combat. And then, I attack for 4. And then, this is Fire Blast. Hadouken. I love this card so much.
Man, Grandeur as a mechanic. That was only ever in Future Sight, right?
Only ever in yeah, because like as time has gone on, EDH Commander has really taken over like a lot of like design space around Legends, and Grandeur effectively doesn't function.
Yeah.
Because like you have to do like play it, copy it, bounce the original. Like you have to do nonsense to make Grandeur function.
Right.
All right, yeah. So our answer to Ajani's riddle
is just don't kill his brother.
Yeah, just don't. I'm just not gonna do a murder. I don't know. Yeah, cats are fine. But yeah, so this Ajani, the 0 is the thing you have to look at here that makes the Ajani like wild.
Yeah, that does a lot of damage really quick.
Yeah, like not only that, but it's also just like a 2/1 for free. Yeah, like there's so much power there.
Right.
So, yeah. Thanks, Lelia. Not that one, but the other Lelia. But yeah, Grandeur in Constructed was like Corlash was real. Corlash was so real. Corlash is the black Future Sight legend, which is power toughness equal to swamps, regen for like black 1, and then Grandeur, discard a copy of Corlash to search 2 swamps into play.
Right.
Double, like you discard a card for 0 and double ramp and you explosive vegetation for 2 swamps. And you had like raised dead effects to be able to keep doing that, and now hold on.
So this hand only technically contains lands.
Yes. This is like a Goblin Charbelcher hand.
It certainly is.
My actual problem with this hand is that it contains a 5-drop and a 6-drop and a 2-land hand. If it had the 3rd land, I'd feel so much better. Because like Galvanic Discharge with Lelia is really good. Am I willing to make that bet is the problem, is the question here, right?
It's you have 2 draw. You're on the play.
I'm on the play, so I have 2 draw steps.
1 draw, actually. Well, 2 draws to do it.
2 draws to do it.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay,
there's a lot of 6s that look better than this.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm a mulligan it because it's too like this. The failure state on this is that the hand like completely fails to function.
This is acceptable.
No, it's not.
Oh right, you don't have the right. Seething Landscape does not go for white. That's the Grixis one.
This one's fine.
This one's acceptable. You just get the Railgate Gargoyle out and.
We'll figure it out. Railgate and...
But Brain Surge actually like fixes the fact that you mulled to 5.
Well, we'll cycle it back in.
Okay.
But yeah, the part that made that opening hand not keepable in my mind is that the failure state is almost an immediate loss. Even though it's a 50-50 and a 50-50, and a lot of those where I super like to take that chance, but I like to take that chance in a world where I have something to do on like the 2, and get one copy of Galvanic Discharge just was not enough in my mind.
Yet another Boros player.
Yeah, it's weird. Yesterday, when we were playing the Eldrazi deck, I think every opponent was the Eldrazi deck. We've seen the Eldrazi deck on the other side of the table, so it's not, like, unheard of, but... Alright, Lelia. This hand is basically on you. That's fine. Like, we need Lelia to, like, do so much work here, and... Well... That card's efficient.
It's gonna be plains on top now.
Ooh, Jolted Awake. That's cute.
Conduit Goblin, stay down. How many times do we have to show you this? Oh. Okay.
Send help.
Okay, Lelia 2 is on the top now. That's a mountain, and therefore Mogmob can show up.
Alright, Mogmob. It's all on you. Yeah. And?
Screws up their board something fierce. Like, what do they do here? They swing all in, which makes an amount of sense. Fundamentally, all this does is force you to use it, but they did force you to use it.
So they get a token, they can move this axe onto the token.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite good. Okay, they're only going to be able to play a land off that, so they get 2 spawn off this. Okay. So that's them. They're empty-handed now. We just need to answer, you know...
The Dog Umbra is a Totem Umbra that's pacify?
Yeah, this pacifism on ours, otherwise it hands off the
oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can use it as an anti-removal spell, or you can use it as a, either way.
Yeah.
I think we're dead here.
You seem pretty dead.
Because, like, they have the Unearth on that, body in their grave that, like, has ping when, things go happen. I can't generate. I can't do anything. Yeah, especially with the speed our opponent ended up playing at, I feel fine on the
yeah, that first hand.
Again, the problem with that. The problem with that hand is that, like, so we shocked their goblin, and then, like, if we don't have Lelia, like if we don't have land 3, we just don't move.
Yeah.
So we knew that mana was a bit of an issue with this deck. That's fine.
Yep.
Let's keep moving.
I mean, I made the assumption that at least one of your games was gonna die to mana.
Yeah.
And it did.
I do love how I actually think that the mana in this deck is really cool. I love how many like spells we have in our lands. We have like 4 spells in our lands. I love like our fetches do some double duty. Like Fledgling Dragon loves our fetches.
Yep.
Alright.
No.
Off red. Alright. Way better.
Yeah, functional.
Way
functional.
better. Okay. Yeah, I probably want the petrify.
You can shuffle them back in. You just have the seating landscape and all that.
Ooh, all right. So this is bad.
Wow.
This is very bad.
Okay. That's a lot for
This
a one
is
drop.
this is in my mind the strongest one drop in this set. There's a couple like that can fit around it. So the problem here is that if their 2 is any energy generating card, they just make an angel immediately.
And what they're doing, they're gonna play Mountain and the Goblin.
Yeah.
So
You might wonder why I'm doing the fetch land here. Instead of the rush.
you want to be able to.
Okay, Etch Slith. So that gets them N energy. That eats our energy. That's fun. That literal draw was the reason I fetched 1. Okay.
Understandable. I respect it.
God, okay. Yeah, I'm not even... That card has spawned an archetype in Modern.
That makes sense.
Okay, Slith alone. It's good. The problem with this Slith is that it's going to eats our energy. It eats our 1/1 counters. It actually is quite powerful on its ability, and it's also menace. Okay. Well, Lelia. Oh, they've got a kill spell for Lelia's getting murdered. No! Ooh, okay. Our opponent actually has a really cool deck. Check this shit out. Okay.
Neat.
This is a sort of Cold Steel, or not Cold Steel Heart, or Sphere of the Suns. I think of Cold Steel Heart, but I mean Sphere of the Suns. Oh. Okay, artifact enters battle. How do I... I think I want a Petrified Metaler. Tap the Slith. We're not blocking with this, so it can attack. Now, I want to draw a mountain. Ooh! Yikes. Okay.
Okay, that's another way to kill that.
The problem is it's modular.
Right, so it just puts all of those onto the Slith.
Mm-hmm. The reason I wanted a mountain was that I was hoping we'd be able to like block this, kill it in combat, and then with the modular on the stack, fire at this. This is a mark of my hand doesn't have anything left. Johnny Fells makes a cat and then puts vigilance on something. Okay.
Like, do you have to trade a 2-for-1 on the Slith to kill it, or
this card has
Menace?
Menace. I think I'm dead here.
Doesn't have first strike, so like, how do you not take the 7? By just blocking with it and not killing it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, we're smoked. I'm gonna go ahead and let him have the giant Slith. Because this hands off double strike on the next one, so we get to get obliterated. Yeah! Yes! Vigilance, lifelink, double strike, menace. Yeah, our opponent's not in like a archetype, and I love what our opponent has going on here. This is just like some good shit.
They're just kind of killing you.
They're just kind of kicking my ass, you know? Like, they've got like
Can you imagine how bad it would have been if that thing was also an angel?
Yeah. They have 4 energy right now. Confirm 0, please. Alright. Yeah, that's that. So the Slith. One thing that weren't doing there that let me double check that Slith. Yeah, they could have been eating our energy with the Slith by targeting us. You may remove a counter from another target permanent or opponent. Which would have been like we had this 1 energy floating for a while. They could have eaten so that discharge wasn't an out.
Right.
But yeah, I have a heavy fear of this card. Our opponent isn't on like a deck that does super energy stuff, but like even without that, just getting to the 3 and being able to be like, well, here's an angel coming in on any creature, you know, target attacking creature. This doesn't even need to be the one getting in combat. That's what makes this also like. There's a lot on this card that makes it very good. Breather Last, very funny as Hero's Downfall. Downshifted all the way to common with more upside.
Yeah.
which is like one thing you have to. I talk a lot about like power level when we're looking at this format and limited set. You see a lot of things that are like over what the line normally is because this is a modern set.
Because this is a direct to modern set. Yeah, there's no none of this is going into standard. This is all modern.
Yeah, so it's easy to think of all cards having this like same because like in general up until recently cards would either enter into like legacy directly or standard, and so you kind of have like two ideas of what power level on a thing would look like, and the direct to modern sets has introduced a middle ground to that that is like that makes like this sort of stuff like really spicy. Murder is still a card that just sort of exists in a lot of limited formats. We had it in Murders at Karlov Manor most recently. Heck, it's in Outlaws as well. On the bonus sheet, I believe. It's on the crime sheet. Alright. It is also in the Assassin's Creed set for obvious reasons.
What? Assassins did what?
What? Hold on. There's 3 cards in the Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I posted 4 of them when I was thinking about this that were like, if you had a bingo card, they'd be like easiest picks for reprints. The Assassin's Creed set has 80 cards and 20 reprints.
Yep.
Number 1, in my mind, was Rest in Peace.
Mm-hmm. That
Yep. That's like that is my free space in my mind. Royal Assassin.
Mm-hmm. Marquesa for some reason.
Murder, and then Assassin's Trophy was the 4th one that had been shown off today. That's like, yeah, okay. There's a lot of so 20 reprints does mean there's a lot in there, and there's a lot of reprints that actually are like pretty like like long standing, not having a reprint. Conspiracy is one. Was it a Fear of Dread? The like creatures you control have fear. Or like name a card. It's from Onslaught. It might be like name a creature type that gain fear, and that card's never getting a reprint anywhere else because like fear is a dead mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decree of Justice.
Downshifted to uncommon.
Damn.
Yeah. The front half of this has been hit a couple times as far as like Entreat does it better. The Foretell card from Kaldheim. And then the backside, there's a number of better ways to make 1/1 tokens. But this card itself, still a winner. I will always be the hugest fan of Decree of Justice.
Is that a Shadow of Corona on there? Is that a thing?
Yes, on all 5 decrees on the art, there's Corona is on them. It's most notable on Silence because it's like front and center.
Gotcha.
If I remember those arts right. And then one of my favorite things that this set does that I like, I don't know if it needs to happen in every set, but I think is really cool, is the set symbol in the watermark slot for where this was originally from, which makes it a lot easier to be like, oh yeah, that's a reprint. Like you can tell that that's a reprint, and 2, you get an idea of like where this is. Obviously, you have to like know the set symbols, but so like some of the commander stuff, I don't know all those, but like that's.
Well, I mean, the commander set symbols are like impossible to remember.
Right. That's the asking. That's the Pokemon to the Sphinx of questions there. Like, what set symbol is that?
What seen from above?
Yeah. What set symbol is that? I don't know. Some commander set. They've made a million of them. Yeah. Okay. Go. You can go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw people being real into this one.
Yeah, I don't think that it's in the deck, but right now in Modern, because of this set, like Ruby Storm, Mono Red Storm is like a deck now. because of Ruby Medallion and Ral Zarek.
Mm-hmm.
So, set name, card name. This card is an ass kicking for the
set name, card name, mechanic name, revolt.
Yeah, like this has a lot of text at the top that's like, all right, it revolt is long, yep, non-combat damage to an opponent, permanent opponent gonna +2, and then ignore all that. Whenever you gain energy, shoot that much. Here we are. Like, just
that's
hello.
Like that first bit right there, pretty good.
Not while you're playing it, usually. You're probably playing this in the deck that makes energy, is why you're including it.
I mean, like that, the energy generation can benefit from
That's
that.
correct. Yes.
So long as it's something left the field, so
right.
it can work really well with it. But you're mostly still just doing it because it pings for every time you gain energy.
Right, and it can make 1 ping into 3 ping.
Yeah.
This is a nifty cycle. These are a cycle of lands that all have come into play tapped unless you control whatever, like basic type, and then tap for that color, and then have some activated ability that is related to a keyword specific to the color. This one goes wild on like Eldrazi spawn. This thing could like, so connive, you can see in the top right, is draw X, discard X, and then for each non-land you discarded, it gets a 1/1 counter. So like if you have some Eldrazi spawn or like have a combat that goes like even like normal, this could be like 4 or 5 loots with a +3/+3 attached. Pretty good for a land activation. The red one exerts to make mana, and that mana gives haste. The green one has Delirium as an activation cost to copy a card in the graveyard. Hello again, Dark Depths combos. The white one, get the white one, thinking. Because the blue one we saw, it gives a spell, improvise. The white one,
so,
I'm trying to remember the mechanics that would have been on the white one.
The funny thing is that all of those are, white is apparently historic.
Oh, it casts, like it's the white one just can cast like top 5 grab a historic permanent card from among them. That's why.
Yeah, the funny thing is that all of those that you just described, I directly associate that mechanic with that color usually because of an iconic creature that had it in that color, like Exert and Glorybringer and so on and so forth.
Delirium has.
The funny thing though is that Connive I associate with blue because of Ledger Shredder.
Yeah, Connive.
It's the only one that stands out as like I actually don't consider that to be an iconic black mechanic.
The other constructed card with Connive was just Esper.
Yeah.
It was Esper mana cost, on attack, Connive equal to attacking creatures, which also doesn't like associate with a color. And historic is weird because like historic, like,
I guess the card that I've seen the most that cared about historic as a mechanic in general was actually Joyra.
Yeah. But then there's like, the thing is that historic, as of the last couple years, has grown very heavily in like all over use because of legends as a necessity of design, specifically within universes beyond. Historic is a main mechanic in the upcoming Assassin's Creed set. Historic is
I mean, if you want to talk about an obvious like word use of to use as well, weird. Historic in the historic fantasy.
Right. Yeah. About like that centers around like artifacts of extreme power that may or may not exist, and
like you think about it even for a moment, it's like of course that historic would be a thing for the Assassin's Creed stuff.
Yeah.
But in general, it's just I just inherently still associate legendary mechanics, like legendary matters mechanics, with white in general. It just feels like the most white, feels more white than the others.
Yeah, I think of them as like in my mind, I always associate, even though like 5 colors is like legendaries everywhere. I always associate legendary in my mind with green, specifically because green had Time of Need.
Fair.
In one of the first sets that I ever played, and so that stuck. Time of Need is green 1, search your deck for a legend, put it in hand. Legendary creature, I'm pretty sure. I don't think that card searches for a legend. That would probably be played more if it could tutor.
Yeah, just a legendary creature card.
Yeah. At the time of its printing, legend did not mean what it currently means. Like legendary as a sub, like a type here. It's hard to even say because like it wasn't always. Legendary has changed like 3 or 4 times over the course of Magic. So.
Legendary was originally just a type, and then it was, and now it's a super type, and I think it was just a subtype at some point as well.
So it because like there was the change in Kamigawa to the legend rule. There was the change in, was it whenever they made the change to planeswalkers to make them legends as well, because planeswalkers weren't legendary for a while, and there was also the change in legend rule later to be both players control 1, like you don't affect your opponent. So like when Jite was printed, you could kill your opponent's Jite by playing a Jite. Right. But now you play a Jite, your opponent plays a Jite, and you both go, okay. And then the game gets really awkward.
Yeah.
So, and the original legend rule would have been your opponent plays Jite, and you look at the Jite in your hand, and you go, I can't play this because mine dies first.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Anyway.
But funnily enough, the world rule has stuck around as it's been. Since the beginning. Only one world can be on the field, baby. Concordant Crossroads, the only one you need.
That one can come up if you're playing like a black like prison deck in Legacy, because Nether Void and the Abyss are both world enchantments. And so if you were building in that setup, and then you get owned by a Concordant Crossroads.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, we cleaned out the play red cards, because we actually had red cards in our deck.
Congratulations.
Yeah. That was
Sounds like you've been playing a lot of red in this format.
I really like red in this format. I really have liked, honestly, like, most of the colors in this format have impressed me. Black impresses me on, like, some individual card levels.
Like just a fundamental. Yeah, that's a good black card level of card.
Like the Eldrazi stuff, which centers around green, red, and blue to a more limited bit, is also just very fun. So, like, there's a whole lot. And then, like, white, the energy stuff that we saw with, like, white-red can, like, really go under, like, the curve, so. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Doc, for joining in and for the raid. Appreciate it. If you want to catch more, you can always follow us, see when we're live, subscribe, you get the cool skulls and slimes, but if not, A+, glad you're here. Tomorrow, Dragon Warrior Wednesday. You may have seen from a Nintendo Direct today that there was some pretty big announcements as far as Dragon Quest titles go, which are having me reevaluate the timeline of future games. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Take a look at the trailer and some of the bits around it, and talk about the 2D, 3D remakes, plural. So, all right, Doc, you got anything coming up?
Yeah, I'm doing a marathon on Thursday.
Okay, sweet.
5 a.m. to an amount of time.
I was gonna say one of those, like, you can just go pull up the stream at some point in the day and there'll be something fun to check out.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll check that out on Thursday. All right. That's going to be it here. Thank you all for joining. Have a good night, everybody.